For this tutorial, I'm going to jump into putting together a little fancy timber truss with steel connectors and some tension rods. So for this, I'm actually going to start with a new one. So we're going to do generic, and this time we're going to look at face-based. Okay, generic model face-based. Open. And this brings us into a different world. So this is a little more of the traditional where you're looking like in plan view, front, back, left, right, and elevation. And there's an object here, and the idea is that it's placing, this thing can be placed on the face of an object or on a work plane, and that's actually why I'm doing it. But what I want you to do is RE, and we can start making what are reference lines, and these are things that we can control. And I know, and we're building the structure for something. I'm going to be doing this kind of fast because I want to achieve a few things. And now, it's all with Revit, it's all about doing stuff quick and loose and making it exact after. I'm making the dimension real. This is a little trick. If you do the dimension, I grab one and then the middle and then the next one and click off to the side. I can hit equal. Makes them equal. One, there, and off to the side. Equal. One here and here, off to the side. Equal. Okay. We can come back and make these what we want. Let's say this is at 2 inches. That's fine. This one is at, let's make that 6 inches. Okay, so I made both 6 inches. I'm making this one from the center line. Let's make that 2 feet, a little wider. Okay, so it doesn't matter where the dimensions are. Now I've got this kind of outline of stuff. Again, now with this, it's got some basic things set up like extrusions. We're going to do extrusion, and I'm just going to make a quick box here. Again, it's all about just AA, blocking. AA is a line. Those that play in Revit, it's all about aligning stuff and using it. I want this to extrude up, let's say 4 inches, and start the extrusion at -4 inches. So we're keeping this center line, the plane that it is, as a center line of it, so that we have this going right now. And actually, I realized I want to go back and edit this a little bit. I want to, so I can just double click into it. I'm actually going to put another box inside this, and watch how it automatically, I can actually tag some, let's say, this I want to be 1 inch, and this I want to be 1 inch. That should be 1 inch and 1 inch. All right. Now watch what happens. It automatically knows that it's an element. Control T, back to there. All right, so that was one little element we want here. I'm also going to make some legs. So I'm going to create extrusion again. This time with just using the line, I'm going to go from here out to this point. I'm going to come back to here, come out to this connection, come to here. Now watch what I'm going to do here. Bam, bam, FF. Okay, and now I have this thing. I'm going to do this, let's say 1 inch up and just 1 inch down. It's good to me. Okay. AD. Okay. Tab back. Now we're going to do another create extrusion again, but this time I'm going to do circles. I'm going to go from this point. I'm going to do 2 inch. I'm also going to do another one that goes 1 3/4. I'm going to go here at the same time, 2 inch. I'm going to do another one, 1 3/4. Now I'm going to do this at 2 inches, 2 inches. All right. Now, I'm also going to look at the left side or right side. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to do almost the exact same thing. And what we're going to do here is create do 1 inch, 1 inch. Let's do 3 of them. Now I could be measuring this and making it right, but that looks fine to me. What's nice is that this is placing it on that center line, so I'm going to extrude out, let's say 8 inches and negative 8 inches. Okay, now all of a sudden we have a bracket. Okay, this is going to be a piece of our truss. I can actually take this element and say I want it to be a structural connection. Okay, nice. Now, watch this. So now there's 3. These are 3 different views up here. This happens a lot in Revit. You get tons and tons of views. I'm gonna hit WW. Instantly goes to just one. Gets rid. It doesn't close the file, but it closes all other windows except for the one you're in. Super helpful when you're doing tons of stuff. So now File, New, Family, Generic Model, and we'll do the generic model adaptive. And with this, we're going to put 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't really matter where they are, but I'm putting 2 in a row and 1 on the side just so I can keep them. I'm going to make sure 3D snaps on, reference line. Make sure it's actually on it. Escape, escape. And I'm going to put 4 points on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't really matter where they are, but I'm going to look at that one. I want that. These 2 going from one end, and these 2 are going to the other end. Okay. So now I can grab these 2 and say I want this to be at 0.33, meaning 33% of the line, and they're both coming from 33% of the 2 ends. Now I'm going to grab these 2 and say I want them to be at 0.1, so like 10%. Okay. Now this is pretty nice. So I can start right now by saying, just move it off so we can kind of get some dimension. I'm going to go Control Tab, load into project. Automatically comes in. Now it's like, oh, it doesn't know where to put it. This is really kind of dumb, but I'm going to go SW. I'm going to select that one right there. Okay, so now I got that. It's still telling me no because of this thing up here. It wants to put it on face. We want to put it on work plane, and now all of a sudden, boom. SW, pick that one. It switched it again. You got to go work plane. Boom. Now all of a sudden, I've got my 2 brackets here. I'm actually going to put 2 more in. Family, structural connection. Base, SW, oops. Got to do it again. SW, face, there. Okay, so I've got 4 of these things in, right? Okay. Now we're going to do something interesting here. Remember, you can go Control Tab or just double click on that and it opens up this file again. I'm going to grab these, oops, this, maybe some. Okay, grabbing those 3 pieces down here. Okay, and I'm going to say, see, there's this visible line. I'm going to make this an associated parameter. So I'm going to call this off legs. And it's going to be an instance. Okay. Now I'm going to make 2 more things here. I'm going to look in plan view. And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to create extrusion again and a circle. That's fine. Let's make this 4 inches. 4 inches. It's a little sloppy, but it'll be fine. Well, I want it to be less than that. Looks like I can just jump in here and say 2. Now these two things, I'm going to change their visibility, make them a new one, and say off end connections in an instance also. Okay, now this is really nice. So I'm going to load this back to the project, say override existing. Okay, these things now I want these two center ones to be different than the two end ones. So let's say with the end ones, I can grab both of these and I look over here and I've got my, because I made them instance parameters, I have them right here. I want the legs off. These two, I want the end connections off. Now all of a sudden with that model, I've got different variables, right? Pretty nice. Okay, now what we're going to do is actually just, because we have the framework for this, I can actually take reference square and snap to there, to there, and then I'm going to snap another one from there to there. Grab that reference line, and that reference line, and make an object. Now I've got my beam. Let's make sure this flexes. Ooh, look at that. All perfect. We're going to deal with some end caps in a second here. But what I'm going to do now is let's load our generic pipe. Yay, because we use this all the time. Generic pipe, I'm going to double click on this and I'm going to duplicate and call it truss cable and offset 0, pipe the diameter 0.5 inch. Okay, now what I can do is, I don't really have a certain spot, I should have made an actual spot. I'm just going to grab from that center thing there, but I can grab to there. I'm going to grab there, to there. Delete those two. It'd be a little cleaner, but this is going to be a rough one just to start. Those two are wrong. And now let's do the other side. Should have given myself a physical thing, grab onto right there, and I didn't. Just leaving the impression of guides. No, you. All right. There's one. Now, let's fix it. Yay! All good. All right, so now we have a truss going. Now we're going to do something else here. I know we made the box, and I remember we went from the outside end to outside end. Now what we're going to do is 1, 2, 3. So the first end is going to be the back end, and I'm going to do this. We can actually now grab this element. Actually, I think, yeah, let's grab that again. I'm going to say make an object, and now I want this to be a variable. Oops. So it's at 6 inches now. I'm going to say new one, truss end extension. And it's going to be a type. Okay. I'll come in here and say truss end extension. Let's make it 4 feet. Okay. Come in and change that whenever. Now we're going to do the same thing over here, but we're going to make it a variable. We're going to make it adaptive. So let's take a reference line from here to here. Oops. Let's put a dimension SW on the reference line itself. And let's make that a reporting dimension. Okay, now let's grab this one and create form. And we're going to make that Truss variable extension, an instance. Now it's not reporting, but it needs to be an instant for it to understand that. Now it's not controlled yet, so now we go into our shows and we say we want the variable extension to be reporting dimension divided by 3. I don't know. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Now we make sure it works. Yep. I want it to be crazier, I think. Let's go dimension divided by 2. Okay. Now let's save this. File save. And let's call it Tim. I already had timber. We'll do it. Steel. Okay. Now let's see what we can do with this. Let's go file new conceptual mass. Mass, okay. And let's look at, oh, this is really nice. So what we're going to do is going to go reference line 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We can do this kind of simple. Okay. So we've got 2 lines here. Create surface, funky surface. Divide it. Remember, show nodes. And okay, let's make one of these like 6. Okay, this is really interesting. So even though there's all this grid here, what happens? I control tab. Let's load this into conceptual mass. Oh, escape. Forgot I need to have a third point. Control point. Let's leave it there. No, let's put it way back over here. Yeah, like that. Okay. Now that's this. One, 2, 3. And there we go. Oh man, it's upside down. Actually, let's see. I think flip turns it right now. There we go, perfect. But notice it's not. The orientation is kind of weird. This because we didn't control. Remember, it's So watch what's happened. Let's. Not being controlled very well, right? So each one's kind of rolling and doing stuff. So we need to have more control over this. Which means we grab this one and grab this one, and we say they're going to be global Z host XY. And there we go. Now let's grab this again and say, let's bump that up to 12 again. And look what we have there. Now what's really interesting here is this surface is still available. Remember how we were dealing with those panels? So what I can do is actually go insert, load family. What was our basic space frame? Okay. Now I can grab this and I can still, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. I'm going to turn this down to like 6. Oh. I would have to reload again. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. It'll work. And I can come in and go space frame. All right. And now we've got a space frame, surface, we've got all the elements coming together, and they're all going to match up because they're all relying on the same thing. We still have the ability to come in and modify the line, which modifies the element. I can modify the point that's controlling, which will change the extensions. This is where it took 20 minutes, and we've got something that we can always go back into, and I can even, let's say, tab, 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 tab. Like this. We can come in and still add more and more detail and still reload it in so that this model's getting the detail that we want as we make more and more design decisions. So that's all for today.